Hello everyone. Hi. Are you all able to see me? I'm glad all of you are here. Welcome all of you. So this is our class. This is our Batman class on vocabulary. All of you, welcome to the class. Hope all of you are doing well. This is the quiz in front of you. We'll start the quiz in some time. Okay. Alright, so this is the quiz in front of you. I'll start it sharp at 8 and then we would discuss it. Hope all of you are doing really well. Hope everything is clear to all of you and you will let me know in case of any query. Okay, so let me give you a brief about myself. Just give me a second. Okay, just give me a second. I'll give you a brief about myself before starting off with this quiz. I am Harkunwar SIngh Sethi and I am the creator of Batman classes on Instagram. I am a regular educator on Unacademy and I'm an XLRI Jamshedpur. I'm an XLRI Jamshedpur graduate, business management background, worked for a year in a corporate and then now I've started off with my own company. So this is me talking about vocabulary, which is the most important thing here. Let me start off with this quiz, and with this quiz I'll see who of you all are very good at vocabulary. We'll discuss the questions and see what can be done about it. Okay, so welcome to the class. I'm starting off with this quiz. We are 1 minute past 8, so let me start off and we'll see the questions one by one. Hope everything is clear to you. Fine, the quiz is about to start. Take a look at the question. Fine. You can comment, you can chat here. If you see this question, see, the dash was so difficult to penetrate that Mr. Lorry, picking his way over the well-worn Turkey carpet. Okay, so Mr. Lorry picking his way over the well-worn Turkey carpet supposed old lady to pee his first cousin for a moment, until he could see clearly a young lady of not more than 17. Okay, so the dash was so difficult to penetrate. The question is all about this blank. If you talk about vocabulary based questions, the structure of the sentence is very important. If you are good at reading, you are good at the whole of vocabulary. Now if you see this, the dash was so difficult to penetrate that Mr. Lorry picking his way over something, all this is story. What could be so difficult to penetrate? Okay, what could be so difficult to penetrate? Let's see the options. It could be limbo, can it be crux, can it be enigma, can it be obscurity? Now limbo is a word, crux is the essence of a topic, enigma is something strange, obscurity is something similar. What should be the answer? You'll get to know very soon. Input your answers and then we will see what is the correct answer. Yes, obscurity was the correct answer. Now see, all of you're already done with this. Let's look at the next one. It's important to understand the statement correctly. Dogged and ingenious interrogation of a dash suspect finally gets at the truth. Now see, here what does dogged mean? Dogged means stubborn. I mean you are pursuing that suspect. You are keeping on interrogating him. You are not letting him time. Okay, so that leads to something of a dash suspect finally gets at the truth. That means earlier you were not getting the truth, but later on you will get the truth. So earlier on something must be related to lie. Something must be related to a lie. A dash suspect means an adjective. The suspect is being described here. Okay, so a dash suspect means there is a tone of someone who is lying, someone who is not totally honest. Look at the meanings of these words. A mendacious is someone who is inclined to lying. Veracious is someone who says the truth. Noble is someone altogether different. He's a wise man. And ethical. Think about it. What is the closest as per what we have discussed here? Think about it and input your answers, please. What was the correct answer? Yes, it was A, mendacious. Yes, it was mendacious. So you should know about the words. That's more important. That's the most important. Knowing the words and reading. If you understand the statement correctly, you'll get to know the answer. Fill in the blanks with the appropriate word phrase. Okay. So while the writing appeared simple, its meaning was dash. Now here the usage of while is here. The usage of while. While the writing was simple. The writing was simple, appeared simple. Another clue, it appeared simple, but its meaning was dash. Its meaning was something else. In the fact, only a number of scholars could comprehend it. So the meaning should be something difficult, something which is opposite or relatively opposite in meaning to simple. Relatively opposite in meaning. So if simple is here, something should be difficult or which is not easy to comprehend. If you see here, comprehend means to understand. If something is easy to comprehend, the opposite would be difficult to comprehend. Look at these words. What is esoteric? Esoteric means something which is hard to understand. Familiar, obvious and common. Familiar is related to something. Obvious is obvious and common. So esoteric is a word which is in the opposite direction. Let's look at the scores. Exactly. Okay, most of you are getting it correct. Fine. Let's carry forward. Let's see the other questions. Abrogate. There is a word abrogate. Now, if all of you had been attending my Batman classes, there is an Instagram page also on Batman classes if you know about it. We discuss a lot of vocabulary. We discuss the other subjects as well. And I have several special classes as well. We recently discussed this word abrogate. Special classes are free to all. We have a special class at 2 p.m. tomorrow as well. What does the word abrogate mean? Abrogate means to what? To abolish. Abrogate means to abolish something. Okay. Abrogate means to abolish something. Now, here countermand, rescind are all retracting, are all similar to abrogating. What is the opposite to abrogate? What is the opposite to abrogate? It is introduced. Abrogate means to abolish something. Raja Ram Mohan Roy abolished the practice of sati or polygamy. Okay, so he brought it to an end. What would be the opposite of abrogate? It would be initiating something, introducing something, starting something. Now repudiate means to shun something. Okay, now you know the meanings of these words. I want you to input your answers yourself. I don't want to give you the answers. Okay, great. See, several of you are getting it correct. That means it's not very difficult. Yes, it is not. If you are able to understand, it's very easy. Let's see. Direction. Fill in the blanks with the appropriate word. While intravascular injections tend to cure the illnesses faster, dash pills are recommended for infants and children. Again, see, understand the greater meaning of the sentence. While injections cure the illness faster. Okay, you can ignore the words which seem difficult to you but are not an essential part of the statement. So intravascular is a type of injection. Let's leave it for now. While injections tend to cure the illnesses faster, dash pills are recommended for infants and children. So injection, what does this statement mean? Injection means a more focused, a concentrated approach towards the illness. Yes, it cures the illness faster. However, while and however are used, both of them are used. So while is used for opposite. So something type of pills are recommended. Oral, audible or oratory. Dash pills, what intravascular is injecting inside. Oral is taking it from the mouth. So you get the meaning if you know, you get the answer if you know the meanings. All right, great to see many of you getting the answers correct. Let's move further. There are several questions to be tackled. All right, let's see. Look at it in front of you. Fill in the blank with the appropriate word or phrase. My mother always gives me dash advice. Now, here a type of advice is given. As you must be knowing, advice with a C is a noun and advice with an S is a verb. Okay, so gives me dash advice. Let's look at the words. This sentence is very easy to understand, but we'll have to look at the options. My mother always gives me practicable advice. Okay, what is practicable? Practicable means something that can be brought to practice. Something which is capable of being practical is practicable. Okay. What does practical mean? Practical means something which is practical, which may not be emotional, something against romanticism. What is romanticism? Not the current meaning of romantic. Romanticism is something related to artificial, something imaginary. Okay, practice would not be able to fit here because this requires an adjective. And same with practice, D. So what would be the correct answer? Please input. We've understood the whole sentence. We've understood the whole question. Alright, great to see several of you getting a lot of answers correct. Let's move on to the other questions. Fill in the blanks with the appropriate word or phrase. Why did you take dash money and run away? Okay, now see, again, this is a pretty easy to understand statement. This is a question basically. Why did you take dash money and run away? Now something related to money is here. Let's look at the options. The option says there and here. Now it is this, for this tackling this question well, it is imperative to understand the subtle differences in the meanings of these individual options. There and there, option A and B are often confused. The first one means wahan. If you're good at Hindi, it means wahan. Here and there, here means yahan, there means wahan. Okay, you see the option D as here, A as there. However, this THEIR there is also pronounced similarly. Like there. However, its meaning is different. It shows possession. For example, something which belongs to him. Uska hai. That is why there means unka hai. Their property. Their happiness. So, there is just the short form for they are. Input your answers. Alright. Great to see several of you getting this correct as well. Let's move further. The leaderboard is also working well. Let's see. Direction. Choose the correct word from the given words so as to make a logically correct statement and mark your answer accordingly. Okay. Now this is a part of confusing words or confusing phrases. Why? Because here it was a veracious / vociferous account of his attitude. Okay. Now these are two different words, but they look very similar. Therefore they are called confusing words. These are called confusing pairs or confusing words. They may sound the same. They may look the same. They may both sound and look the same. They may have the same spellings, but they will have different meanings. Stationary and stationary, historic and historical. These are all confusables. In fact, in the previous question, there and there, it's also a confusing pair because they sound similar. Let's see. It was a dash veracious account of his attitude. What does veracious mean? Veracious means honest. And what does vociferous mean? Vociferous means something consumes a lot. Vociferous. Okay. Something who speaks a lot. Vociferous. Very aggressive. Now that you know the meaning of both these words, are you able to get to the correct answer? Okay. Let's move further. I don't think many of you got this one correct. Let's see further. I hope you'll get all the others correct. Direction. Now choose the correct word from the given words. Same type of question. His inherent or inherit. Inherent means something that exists in you, and inherit means something that you have inherited from your ancestors. Okay, so you may inherit property. That is a very literal meaning. But you may inherit talents. You may inherit behavior. You may inherit some qualities, both good and bad. Okay, so his inherent talents have proved useful to him throughout his career, or his inherent talents have proved useful to him throughout his career. When it comes to vocabulary, the parts of speech also help us a lot. So his inherent talents make sense, but his inherent talents doesn't make a lot of sense, because it probably should have been inherited, shouldn't it? It probably should have been inherited talents. What does inherit talent mean? Okay, because inherent or inherit both are being used as an adjective used to describe talent. Now inherit is a verb, inherited is an adjective. Look at the options, input your answers. Let's see who of you all have got it correct. Okay, great. Let's see, some of you getting minus marks, some of you getting plus. Great to see that. Let's move on to the next question. Let's move on to the next one. Find one word for the given expression and mark as your answer. Fine. Let's read the statement first. It's imperative to read the statement, understand the statement, because if you directly move to the options, it would give you a hard time. Why would it give you a hard time? Because you'll start feeling every option is correct. Basically, you'll try to satisfy option for the question. That is not a correct way of doing it. So think, at least make a build-up of the statement, make a build-up of what the answer should be just by looking at the statement. So, philosophy of living austerely. What does philosophy mean? I'm pretty sure most of you know the meaning of this word. However, I'll explain it to you again. What does philosophy mean? Philosophy means thought. Philosophy means thought or way of thinking. Or philosophy is also a branch of science. Philosophy means the study of knowledge, the study of thoughts, the study of minds, the study of psychology. Okay, the study of things which are not tangible, intangible things, behavioral. Alright, philosophy of living austerely. Austerely is what? Someone who leaves everything, who does not want anything. Okay, like a sadhu. Look at the options. Great, I can see some of you got it correct. Let's move further. Let's see the other questions in place here. All of you who are here. Okay, Sachin wants the quiz code. Sachin, the quiz code is, give me a second, I'll give you the quiz code for all of you who are just joining. The quiz code is 017365. Everyone, if you could hear me, 017365. Fine. Let's look at this question. Identify the correct meaning of the word skillful. Skillful. Okay. Now here there are four words. You know the meaning of the word skillful. Someone who is skilled. Someone who possesses some kind of skill. Alright. So, dexterous. Dexter means dexterity. It comes from the word dexterity. It means skill. Sleight of hand. Have you heard this word sleight? A magician is very skillful with hand. That is the true meaning of dexterous. Clumsy is the opposite. Clumsy is the opposite. Prescient is someone who knows something from before. And gauche is something sophisticated. What do you feel is the closest in meaning to skillful? Which one out of these? Which one out of these? Okay, Sachin, I hope you've joined the quiz and now I'll expect to see your answers as well. Okay, Sachin has joined. Welcome, Sachin. Fine. So, Sachin probably got this correct as well. Let's look at the next one. I hope all of you are here. Identify the correct meaning of the given word. Evil, threatening. Evil or threatening. The correct meaning of the given word. Now you know what is evil, you know what is threatening. Threatening is something intimidating, something which is a threat for you, okay, which poses a threat for someone is threatening. It may be different for different people. Let's look at the options. Sinister. Sinister is something related to evil, no doubt. Sinister intentions means evil intentions. Okay. Dexter, as we've seen just before, Dexter and prescience, we've seen Dexter is related to skilled. Generally it is skilled with respect to hand, but specifically it is skilled with respect to hand. However, Dexter is also used for skillful in general. Prescience is someone who is pretending, someone who knows things from before, or someone who pretends to know things from before. Aggregate. Aggregate is the cumulation. It's a collaboration. It is the sum total. So after you've got your 10th class marks for each of the subjects, you will find out the aggregate. That is a collaboration. That is a total. All right. What is the answer to this one? Okay, Sachin is rising up the ladder. Good, Sachin. Good to see that you are feeling this is easy. I hope you'll continue feeling so, and you're good at vocabulary. That is definitely one conclusion I can draw. Direction. Find one word for the given expression and mark as your answer. Unlawful state of having more than one spouse. Okay, now see, you should also focus on learning words with respect to words are plenty. Okay, techniques are aplenty. You could never finish all the words, but that is the beauty of vocabulary. Some words would be able to you would be able to comprehend them with the same words technique, some with the association technique, some with root words technique, and there could be hundreds of techniques. Here, this gammy or gammus is a root for marriage or spouse. This is a root for gammus. Okay, gammy is a root for marriage or spouse. So bigamy means two spouse. Monogamy means one spouse. Okay, autonomy means you are free to work independently. You have autonomy. Okay, autonomy means you don't have, no one else has control over you. Okay, is it clear? Okay, so what should be the answer to this one? Okay, some of you are getting it correct. All right, let's see the other questions. You will be able to get most of them correct. Now this is an analogies based question. This is an analogies based question. Okay, analogies based question means the relation between the first two words should be the same relation between the next two words in the same order. If you studied ratio proportion in mathematics, A is to B is the same as C is to D, means the relation that A has with B is the same relation that C has with D. So here Aesop is a fable, or you should put it in a statement. Aesop is a fable, or it's a brand of a fable. What is a fable? Fable is a story. Fable is a story. Aesop is a brand of fable or a writer of fable. Yes, Aesop's fables are famous because Aesop was the author of them. Similarly, Homer is dash. Homer was what? Homer is the writer of Iliad. Have you heard of the legend Iliad? Yes, Homer is the author of that. So Homer is the author of Iliad. But what is Iliad out of these? Is it an epic? Is it a donkey? Is it a mythology? Or is it a Rome? It will make sense. You'll get to the correct answer. What is it? Input it. Okay, glad to see that. Fine. Let's move on. Ahana, I'm sure you would be getting most of them correct, but you'll get even more correct. Just pay a little more attention. Ribbon is to dash is the same as icing is to cake. As I said, the order has to be the same. So that is why it is always helpful to put it in a statement. Just as we did in the previous one, Aesop is a fable. So the first one should come first and the second one should come later. So icing is to cake. What is icing is to cake? icing is a decoration for cake, isn't it? Icing is a decoration for cake. You've already prepared the cake, but now you put icing on the cake. It is a decoration. It is an add-on. Is it necessary for the cake? No, it is not. But the cake would look better, feel better, taste better because of it. So it's an add-on, isn't it? Okay, like you order a pizza and then you sprinkle some seasoning on it. It is an add-on. It would still be a pizza, but it might taste better for some of you. So ribbon is what? Ribbon is to what? Icing is to cake. So ribbon is an add-on or an ornamental item for what? Is it for present, a tie, a bow, or a typewriter? What does ribbon adorn? What gets better because of ribbon? This was hard. Sachin says this was hard. Okay, no problem. Let's look at the other ones. Let's look at the other questions. Again, an analogy based question. So we've gone halfway past the number of questions. Even if you've not got many correct so far, put in more attention. You'll definitely get more right now. So seemly is to dash. Okay, let's look at what is given. So torrid is for scorching. Have you heard the word torrid before? There is torrid heat, okay, or torrential rainfall, but this is a torrid weather. We are facing torrid times in the figurative sense. So torrid means what? Something unpleasant, something against us, something which is not favorable. Alright, scorching. Are they both similar? So torrid is similar to scorching, isn't it? So torrid heat can be said as scorching heat. Now seemly, and what is similar to seemly? If you look at it, is it attractive? Is it invisible? Is it jealous? Or is it horrid? Take a look, take a punt. What do you feel is the correct answer? Seemly, unseemly, gainly, attractive, unattractive. Have you heard these words before? Okay. Right, the leaderboard is continually changing. Let's see who is at the top. So again, another analogy based question in front of you. So you can see this is an analogy based question, and it's imperative in case of analogy based question to put it down in a statement. You don't have to write the statement down. However, you should think of it in a form of statement, because that would surely come to your aid. So art is to museum. How can we put it in a statement? Art is kept in a museum. Okay, art, what does a museum house? A museum houses works of art. So you can say art rests in a museum. So what rests in a silo? What rests in a silo? Is it fodder? Is it food? Is it land? Or is it windmill? Now two options here are very easy to eliminate, because silo can be called as bags. Bora suna? Okay, a sack. Silo is a particular word. Silo can be used figuratively for something in bulk, in a lump. Now two options are very easy to eliminate. You will be left with only two, but still the answer is easy to find out. Let me know the answer. I mean, you check the answer if it is correct for you. You'll see your points very soon. Okay, Sachin has again come up, and I'm glad, Sachin, to see that. Okay, so that means you got this one correct. It was not a very difficult one. Let's look at the next one. Again, we are here with the fill in the blank type of question again. So dash architecture is architecture characterized by the use of local materials and knowledge, usually without the supervision of professional architects. Again, see, you should build a mindset before looking at the options. Okay, you should at least try and understand what sort of a word would come in the blank. If you do not think so and directly look at the blanks or look at the options, you'll get confused among the options. And that is a recipe for disaster. Why? Because then you'll just try to fit every option, and then every option would seem correct to you, but because you spent so much time on the question, you will probably mark anything and move ahead. Okay, so dash architecture. Now the definition of architecture is given: two things, local material and without the supervision of professional architects. Let's look here. What is indigenous? Something which is original to a particular area, that is indigenous. Vernacular is a different form of a language, a local language. Informal, yes, it is informal. And nativity is native to one place. Okay, fine, let's proceed. Let's see how many of you will get the further ones. Now this is a slightly bigger statement, but we have a lot of time. A sentence is given below in which a word has been marked in bold. Identify as your answer the correct antonym of the word. So for that, you have to understand the meaning of the whole paragraph and the word. Their success continued to snowball with the release of their third record. Now see, even if you do not know the meaning of this word, if you read the context, you will get a good idea of what it would mean. Their success continued to snowball with the release of their third record. The Black Parade, which was another commercial smash that spawned the hits, and the names. So, what does snowball mean here? Snowball means, if you've seen an actual snowball, it starts from a small sphere, but gradually it takes up more and more snow with it, and it comes down at a faster pace because of gravity and gets bigger and bigger. So their success continued to snowball means it increased rapidly. But we are asked about the antonym. You should read the question well. To grow by rapid production, increase rapidity, to make less, or to send forth new growth. Because it is antonym, the answer is easy. Okay, nice to see that. What about the others? Did you get it correct? Yes, I think several of you got it. Alright, another same question, but you should know what is asked. Is it the antonym or the synonym? Because the whole answer would change because of it. Again, the antonym is asked. Let's look at the word. In the very first days of his sojourn, okay, he had written a pamphlet with the imposing title of Treatise on Metaphysics. In the very first days of his sojourn. What does sojourn mean? What does sojourn mean? I'll give you a very good link. Sojourn means short journey. If you look at this word, it looks like a combination of short and journey. It means the same as well. Short journey means temporary journey or a short trip. This is what a sojourn means, both literally and figuratively also. That if you are working on something for a very short period of time, then you will say that was my sojourn. Okay, now you have to mark the antonym. So a temporary residing, to dwell permanently, a temporary stay, to abide or stay in or at a place. It has become very easy because the opposite is asked, and there are not many options which mean in an opposite sense. What is it? Okay, nice to see that. Fine, let's move further. Let's see who of you all will get the next one correct. Again, see, it's the same pattern that you have to mark the correct antonym. You have to mark the correct antonym of the highlighted word. In High School Musical 2, several of you must have seen it, and other dance musical movies of the like, the choreography is peppy and full of gusto, leaving no room for inhibition. Okay, so it's peppy and full of gusto. Do you know what is a gust? What is a gust? Gust means a wind. Gust means wind. So it's gusty environment means it's different to gutsy. Gutsy means filled with guts. So gust is a wind, generally in a pleasant sense, generally. So here also it's full of gusto means full of positive energy, full of pleasant breeze, something like that. But you have to mark the opposite to it. So enthusiasm and energy, personal charm or magnetism, enthusiastic vigor, the quality or state of being lazy, sluggish. What have we seen? Gusto, pleasant, happiness, breezy, and in the figurative sense, energy, full of energy, happy energy. What would be the opposite? You know very well. All right, I can see the leaderboard changing pretty much all the time. Let's move on. Let's move further to the next one. Sociobiologists, the most well known of whom is Edward O. Wilson. Content. What does content mean? Content means they challenge. Content. They're against something. Content is something. Content means satisfied. This is contend. Contention means competition. That there is a biological basis for the social behavior of animals, and they test their dash through observation of animals in situations. So they believe something and they test their belief. They believe something and they test their belief. We've thought about the statement. Now let us look at the options. Hypothesis. This is SES. Hypothesis is multiple or plural of hypothesis. What is a hypothesis? A hypothesis means an assumption. An assumption which you will check. Okay, they test their discovery. Discovery is something which is already discovered. Here they are contending, they are thinking, they are feeling, they are hypothesizing. Invention. Invention again is something they have made. And eureka. What does eureka mean? Eureka moment. Eureka is happiness, extreme happiness. Euphoric happiness is eureka. All right. Several of you have got this one correct. I'm glad to see that. Let's move on to the next one. I hope you are understanding and you are improving from this quiz. I could not have been more thrilled when #MeToo ripped away the curtain on the murky transgressions. Okay, let's look at the words first. This is also a quiz on vocabulary. Ripped away means, rip matlab alag kar dena. Okay, bear through. Alright, so murky transgressions. What is murky? Means dark. Something which is murky means dark. Transgressions and diminishments. Transgressions means face evil, when they faced evils. And diminishments means they were diminished and unable to speak. That woman had dash in the droit du seigneur era. Okay, so what does droit mean? In the droit du seigneur era means, what does droit mean? Anyone? It's again adroit. Adroit means skillful. But what does this phrase mean? That in the modern era. So women had dash in this era. So what could be? Endured, faded, short-lived, undergone. Yes, there are two options which seem close, but only one of them is the correct answer, because there is a lot of facing here. They are facing. Okay, let's move further. Hi. Hi Harshit. Harshit, you are here as a part of this video, but you're not attempting. Okay, start your quiz and attempt. Thessalus, who had fled to Corinth, was dash and brought to Macedonia in chains. Okay, so if you see this statement before looking at the options, there is this word and. And means to join similar meanings parts. So I was studying and solving questions. Okay, I was enjoying and partying, because enjoying and partying go with a similar meaning. That is why they connect them with and. So was dash and brought to Macedonia in chains. Similar type of meaning should be there. Was clenched, was extradited, was rendered, was stopped. So who had fled to Corinth? Again, this gives another hint. Who had fled? Fled means to flee. To flee means to run away. A fugitive. A fugitive means a bhagoda. Bhagoda hota hai na, jo bhag gaya. A fugitive. in the negative sense. So he had fled to Corinth, was dash and brought to Macedonia in chains. What is your option? What do you feel is the right answer? Okay, see, several of you got it correct. All right, let's look at the other one. The next part. A study from the University of Texas at Arlington reveals that when people feel anxious, and again see another use of and. If you can see here, another use of and. What does another use of and mean? That it should be not exactly the same meaning as the first part, but it should be in the same tone. It cannot be in the opposite tone. So when people feel anxious and dash, they are more likely to base their decision making on anecdotal information instead of facts. What is anecdotal information? What is an anecdote? Anecdote means a story, a happening, okay, a situation. So I will tell you an anecdote when I was there. So that means I will tell you a story. It could be a true story or it could be a fabricated one. But anecdotal information means what they've seen or the stories that they have heard instead of facts. So what is it? Okay, what does buoyant mean? We've understood the statement. Now what does buoyant mean? Buoyant means happiness, bubbling with energy. What is resilient? Someone who is able to come back after being down. Vulnerable and resistant. Vulnerable is someone who is easily attacked, and resistant means someone who can resist. What should be the answer? Okay. You are on a roll, no doubt on that. So you're getting so many questions correct. Let's look at this one now. We are now towards the last 5 of the questions, and I hope you will get all of these correct. You have to fill in the blanks with the appropriate word or phrase. Stress is associated with a number of physical conditions, including back pain, dash 2 irises, chronic fatigue syndrome, and autoimmune disease. So what are they given here? Giving here. So stress is associated with a number of physical. They are giving some symptoms of stress, or they are also saying some of the effects of stress. If stress is there, you might experience such problem. Dash 2 viruses. Everything is negative. Back pain, chronic fatigue, autoimmune disease. All right. So dash 2 viruses means you are more prone to viruses. Not immune, not resistant, but not resilient either, because resilient means you are able to come back. And we are listening about viruses a lot, and I hope everything gets well soon. But here, stress would make you susceptible to virus. Does that feel correct to you? Or you feel something else is correct? Please input your answers. I won't tell you the exact answer as of now. All right. Yes, some of you got it correct, not all of you, but I'm glad some of you did, and the others, now you've understood why did you go wrong. How we dash to aging is a choice we must make wisely. Okay, what is aging? Aging is someone or something which ages. Ages means increase in age. Okay, how we dash to aging is a choice we must make wisely. Okay, so we react, something like that has to be there. How we answer to aging. All right, see, I'm not saying that this is an incorrect statement if you mention answer, but it may not be the most appropriate. That is why in English you have to take care of elimination. You have to take care of selecting the best option as well as eliminating the others, because you might just get a better option. So answer, respond to aging. Yes, could be good. Absolve. What does absolve mean? Absolve means maaf karna. If the court has absolved someone of a crime, then that means they have acquitted him. How is this relevant here? I don't know. Proceed. Proceed means proceed to aging. Proceed to aging. Aging is already mentioned. Proceed will be redundant. So what is your answer now? Okay. All right. All right. Not many got this correct, but okay, no problem. Now this is a big one. See, read the sentences given below and choose the option which completes the sentences appropriately. Withdrawal symptoms. What is withdrawal symptom? If you are addicted to something and you leave it, then you face withdrawal symptoms. It could be in the case of drugs, alcohol, or anything. You must have seen a lot in movies. Withdrawal symptoms then typically taper or tapir. So taper means to reduce. Taper. It tapered off. Means it reduced. It gradually reduced. Tapir is a place. But usually takes a full week. Okay. A 33-year-old woman was admitted due to hematemesis. I don't know what that illness means, but I know that it is a disease. And passage of tarry or terry stool. Terry is a name. Terry is a proper noun. Okay. And with super style twin track, a valence or a valence rail allows you to. So if there are some of you chemistry students, you will know what is a valence electron. It is a free electron. Does this give you a hint? Ella sat cold, impassible or impassible. Impassible or impassible, and assiduously industrious. Okay, Chalo, let's watch the last two sentences. I hope you are all prepped up for this. Read the sentence and choose the option with the correct meaning of the prefix. Acer. Thomas' witty and sometimes acerbic voice became the other side of her inner dialogue. Acerbic, witty and sometimes acerbic voice. Okay. Acerbic comes from acre. Okay, acidic. Alright, let's see the meanings. Being very masculine, something that is sour or bitter, full of sweetness, full of guilty. You can guess the meaning from the statement also. But acerbic means something related to acid. What is acid? Acid is sour. It is bitter. It is sour. It hurts. It seethes through. If something is seething, that means it passes through you. It's harsh. So if there is an acidic remark, then you'll feel bad because of it. Because it is acidic. It is sour. Alright. So that might give you the meaning. That might give you the correct answer to this question. Alright. Let's see the correct answer and then we are all set for the last question of this. Yes, several of you got it correct. I'm glad to see that. Read the sentence given below and choose the option with the correct meaning of the prefix. Torse. There will be side deals and efforts to contort. What does contort means? What does contort mean? To twist. Contorting means to twist, to change. Platforms to draw new votes that make predictions hazardous. Okay. So torse, being very disturbed, something that is straight, parallel to one another, something that is twisted. I've already given you the meaning. If you know the meaning of the word contort, which I've already explained, you will get to the correct answer that is of this question very easily. What is it? What do you feel is it? Contorted means all twisted and turned, not in a straight manner. And what is asked? Is an antonym asked or is a synonym asked? Yes. And that will bring you to the correct answer. Okay, come on. This is the last question. 10 more seconds to go. I hope all of you are fully attentive on this one. You will get the correct one. What is it? Quickly. Answers? Your answers? All right. So glad to see Sachin. I'm glad to see you pipping Brock Lesnar for the second spot. in the last question. You were third and you pipped him for the second spot. Now see, as I've told you, this is a vocabulary check. This was just a preliminary exam on vocabulary. We do have, under the name of Batman Classes, we have an Instagram page which is handled by my staff, and it's on vocabulary. There are a lot of things on vocabulary, but it also gives you the schedules of all my classes on Unacademy, whether they are special classes. Special classes means the classes which are free for all, or whether they are plus courses. That means for only for the subscribers. So I do have a free class tomorrow. As well as day after tomorrow at 2 p.m. I would see all of you. I would like to see all of you there. Tomorrow's class is again on vocabulary, and the day after tomorrow we'll focus on CAT 2021, the next year's CAT. Several students have started preparation now, so I felt it's imperative for me to explain them about how to go about starting with their preparation. So that is about it. As I said, I am Harkunwar SIngh Sethi, and I'll see you on YouTube very often now. And this was a test. Keep appearing for quizzes. Ahana, thank you so much for your lovely comment. Next quiz, Sachin, Ahana, everyone. See, if you follow that Instagram page, all the schedules would be updated there. There would be quizzes on vocabulary. As I've told you, I take topics on Unacademy. I take vocabulary, verbal ability, RC. I do take quant. I've completed pretty much the whole of quantitative aptitude, and I've also taken DI and LR. My next class on LR on Unacademy is at 11:30 tonight itself. Okay, so I'll see all of you there. It's a plus course. You'll have to become a plus subscriber. I do have a code. Everything of that sort would be available on Batman Classes Instagram page. You'll be able to find out about all the schedules, the quizzes, the plus classes, the special classes, the codes, and anything else. You are most welcome to send in your doubts, send in your queries, send in even your suggestions regarding the special classes that you wish me to take. Okay, so if you are not on Instagram, what is the solution for that? You can follow my profile on Unacademy, and there you can send me a direct message. Then I'll see to it how to inform you about the schedules, because not every student is on Instagram. So this is about vocabulary. Right now this class was on vocabulary, so I'll let you know about a few more things about vocabulary. So in case of vocabulary, we follow several techniques. As I've told you, vocabulary is vast. It's very vast. So there could not be just one technique to understand and to remember all the words. But the underlying important factor which you should not do is trying to memorize words. Do not ever try to memorize words, because then yes, they may stick here for some time, but they would not stick for a long time. That's one problem. The second problem is if you've memorized the word only, you are good for only telling the meaning of that word. You are not at all good at using that word in a statement or telling the antonyms of that word. Okay, so you're just sticking to that. So never try to memorize the words. Only try to revise them. And use several techniques. If you attend tomorrow's class of mine at 2 p.m, we'll understand several techniques. Some of them association, visualizing. We'll try to visualize the words, and we'll also see a lot of group words. We will also see some root words. Let's say circum. Circum is a root. Have you heard about any word that starts or ends or has circum in the middle? Yes. There are several words. So because you know circum, circumcircle, circumcision, circumvent, circumambulate, circumcise. A lot of words begin from circumambulate, and so on. Okay, so Sachin, Ahana, if you are not plus students, no problem, just send me a message on Unacademy. I'll tell you how to go about it. Okay, how to go about it. I'll tell you about the code, I'll tell you about everything. Fine. So as I've told you, this was a class on vocabulary. This was a class on vocabulary, and we'll have several classes on vocabulary. But if you are preparing for this year's CAT or for the next year's CAT, there are several courses on the other exams as well. We are undergoing a logical reasoning course for SNAP. You are most welcome to attend it. Okay, you are most welcome to attend it. And some more things regarding vocabulary. Let me give you a word. You tell me more meanings of more similar words. Let me give you a word. I tell you circumvent. We just use the word circumvent. I'll tell you the meaning of the word as well. Circumvent means to confuse someone. To confuse someone, and I can read your comments here. What does circumvent mean? Circumvent means to confuse someone. Okay. So, can you give me some synonyms of this word? Can you through comments obviously, but can you give me the synonyms of the word circumvent now that you know the meaning of it? Can you give me some similar meanings? Have you heard of the word outwit? Outwit. So if someone is witty, okay. If you are able to outwit someone, that means you are able to overpower him or her. That means you've confused him. What any other word? Have you heard about baffling someone? Baffle. So if you have baffled someone, you have confused that person. Puzzled, exactly. Sachin, correct. Puzzled. If you've puzzled someone, there you've also again confused it. Bewildered. Have you heard the word bewildered? B-E-W-I-L-D-E-R. So if you have bewildered someone, again it means you have confused that person. Outwit, baffle, bewildered, puzzled, all of these words are similar. So what I was intending to tell you here is that if I tell you all these words at the same time, I write it down in front of you, I tell you all these similar words at the same time. Suppose sometime, and I'm not asking you to memorize, suppose in the future sometime you see the word bewildered. Okay, if you see the word bewildered and suppose you do not remember the exact meaning of the word bewildered, what could you remember? You may remember that you had studied bewildered with a lot of other words. Okay, you had studied bewildered with a lot of other words. And if you remember that bewildered, baffled, confused, outwit, circumvent, all these were words studied together, you will definitely remember the meaning of at least one of them. Even if you remember the meaning of at least one of them, you will be able to understand the meaning of that new word which you are not able to recollect. That is the beauty of group words. Another beauty of vocabulary is through the root words. If you've seen the root words technique, let's talk about the root A. Have you heard of the word apathy? Have you heard of the word amoral? Any other word that starts from A? Agnostic, apathy, amoral. What are these words? These words are the opposite of the root word. So moral and amoral. Amoral person is someone who has no morals. Anarchy. Okay, anarchy. What is anarchy? No rule. Monarchy means rule of one person. Monarchy. Anarchy means there is no rule. So A is something which means devoid of. Alright, so we will study several words, we will study several root words, we would study some related words, some synonyms, some antonyms, some words which we will be able to visualize. कुछ अच्छे तरीकों से करेंगे, कुछ बुरी तरीकों से करेंगे, but करेंगे. Alright, and we will also cover the other topics, quant, LR, everything. So I'll see all of you there, and it was great spending time with all of you. It was a nice class. Thank you very much. This was my first experience, by the way, with YouTube. So I hope things had gone smoothly in this. But I felt that it went smoothly. This was a good test. Look at this test again. Keep appearing for several quizzes. It will help you. study and prepare under time constraint, because when you solve it by yourself, there's no time constraint. Alright, so keep appearing for these quizzes. Let me know in case of any doubt. I will see you very soon on Unacademy, and I'll see you very soon on YouTube as well. Signing off. Thank you very much, all of you. Thanks for your time. I feel privileged that I got the opportunity here. Thank you very much. Thanks for spending your time. Keep studying with a smile. I will see you back very soon. All the best for your studies, and keep taking care of yourselves. Do not go out unless absolutely necessary. Stay safe, and we'll continue studying. In case of any doubts, needless to say, you can approach me, or as I've told you before, you can visit Batman classes. Thank you very much, Sachin. That is a wonderful comment. Thank you very much for that. I'm glad to hear that. Alright, so signing off from this YouTube as well now. For this first class, it comes to an end, and I felt very good with you, all of you. Thanks a lot. I'll see you back. I'll see you later tonight at 11:30 for a plus class, but I'll see you at 2 p.m. tomorrow for the special classes, alright, which are free for all. So all of you are most